Yes, the great old hymn, More Love to Thee. I thought I'd start out with that today. Good afternoon, friends. I'm glad to have you with me today. My name is Tim Holder. I am the Director of Music Ministries at Pines Presbyterian Church here in Houston, Texas, and this is another installment of Songs of Encouragement. We're going to talk about a race today, and I would like to start out with the scripture from Philippians 3. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Jesus Christ. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if anything ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal even this unto you. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing. Verse 14 once again. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Jesus Christ. You may notice I have a little statue on the piano today. This is my Beethoven bust that I've had since I was in the 7th grade. By the time I was in the 7th grade, we had moved to Edna, and my wonderful piano teacher, Mrs. Zola McGuffey, who lived in Lolita, had quit teaching piano to focus on her studies at the school. When I was in grade school, I don't know if many of you had this, but we had a small school. It was the 1st through the 5th grade in LaWard, Texas. And every class had music every day. We had Christmas musicals, we had spring musicals, and Mrs. McGuffey also taught piano after school. She was my first and best piano teacher. But when she quit teaching, we had to find another teacher, and we lived in Edna at the time. I was in the 7th grade. His name was Jess Faulkner. Had just graduated from Juilliard Music Academy in New York, and he was quite the talk of the town in Edna, Texas, because we had a real star. He accepted me as one of his pupils, and by that time I had had 7 years of piano, so I was not the best that there was, but I could hold my own. He had 5 of his best students work on a piano concerto the whole year that I was in the 7th grade. Thing was probably 15 to 20 pages long. It had to be memorized, and he would drive us to Texas A&I in Kingsville, Texas for the judging. So for a full year, I did nothing but practice on this concerto. I had my eye on the prize, although I did not know what the prize was. Had my eye on the prize, and there were a couple of girls that were in high school. There was one other girl in the 7th grade and another girl in the 8th grade. But when we drove to A&I prayed, God, please let me do my best. That's all I wanted, to do my best, because I knew if I did my best, I would win. I won, and Beethoven was my prize. And that's one of my most valuable possessions, because I've had that since the 7th grade. But we, as Christians, are pressing on toward a prize that's much more valuable than Beethoven. That prize is a place besides Jesus in the heavenly kingdom. This song is called I Love Him Too Much. grace. My heart was overwhelmed to think a king would take my place. I cried, Lord, I'll go with you every step of the way. That's all I can do, my debt to repay. I love him too much to fail him now, too much to break my vow, for I promised the Lord that I would make it somehow, and now I love him too much to fail him now. When I told him I loved him, it was easy to say, but harder to prove it when temptation came my way. For what good are broken promises? I counted them but loss when I caught a glimpse of true love hanging on a rugged cross. Oh, the years have drawn us closer. My love for him has grown. Each step has brought me nearer to my eternal home. I'm just too close to heaven to turn back now. His grace will be sufficient. I'm gonna make it somehow. I love him too much to fail him now, too much to break my vow, for I promised the Lord that I would make it somehow, and now I love him too much to fail him now. When I think of Olympic runners or people who participate in the Ironman, even horses racing around a track, their goal is that finish line. And I hope for you today, Christian, that your goal is those pearly gates. We can say we have crossed that finish line. Our hymn today is another old familiar one. The words are printed for you, so if you know it, please sing along. My Jesus, I love thee. My Jesus, I love thee. I know thou art mine. For thee all the follies of sin I resign. Friends, I hope with me that you'll keep running that race to your heavenly prize, the finish line, the pearly gates. Till we meet again, keep a song in your heart. Bless you.